Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve and welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing how to make millions before grandma dies in one take. So, let's start. I have not cried this much during a movie in a very long time. And I think that was true for almost everyone else in the theater. So be prepared. How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies is a Thai film about a college dropout wannabe streamer named M who volunteers to take care of his ailing grandmother in hopes of getting on her good side and maybe some inheritance too. Obviously, I'm no expert on this culture, so there are going to be social mores that I'm missing that might more easily explain or complicate different dynamics happening in the film. There could also be assumptions that I'm bringing that are completely baseless, or some that I'm supposed to know that I'm completely ignorant of. However, what makes this movie amazing is that I don't think it really mattered at all. If you've ever had to deal with an aging parent or grandparent, a life-threatening illness of a loved one, or the quiet or loud fight for inheritance, you will understand this movie. And if you haven't, I'm sure you can too. As M integrates his life into his grandmother's, we see a direct clashing of generations. There is a lot of hilarious bickering, and M mostly concedes and listens to his grandmother. Mostly. And we see him start to change. It's obvious he hasn't been as close to his grandmother lately, and as he reincorporates himself into her world, he begins to empathize with her perspective and needs. How she dresses up every Sunday looking forward to her family visiting, and how much joy it brings her. Then, on days when his mom or uncles can't make it, he shares in her sadness too. Pixar's Up gets a lot of talk for its emotional opening, which it deserves. But Up is a movie I can watch every couple of years because it speaks to me in different ways as we get older and have new experiences and heartbreaks and losses and loves. Up for me is an optimistic movie that says just because one journey has ended doesn't mean there isn't another. But that's where How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies comes in. This isn't about a new adventure. It's about the end of a life. The grandma here is suffering through a terminal illness. And what is important to someone nearing their end? What do they remember or prioritize? When they look back and there isn't a balloon-filled adventure, what then? This film works because of its intimacy. There is nothing extravagant here. We get lots of anecdotes, and it feels like you could be listening to your own grandparents. I was transported to when I was 8, drinking black coffee with my grandma Emma at 6 in the morning. This movie makes those mundane moments monumental. The film has no real climax or catharsis, and that might not work for some people. Like, technically, they exist and you can point them out, but there is no huge emotional outburst. There are no volatile arguments or grand reveals. There are character arcs and story beats, but there is just mostly an ebb and flow instead of a build up to a particular moment. Thelma was released earlier this year, and it's a comedy that deals a lot with the loss of agency as you get older, who you depend on, who depends on you. And How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, when the grandmother's sickness is first diagnosed, the doctors only tell her children, and they decide to keep this a secret. It is M who informs his grandmother. He thinks it's her body and she deserves to know, but her children thought they were sparing her. Thelma plays around with this idea. What is the responsibility of children, if any, to take care of their parents? And how much authority should they have? Who takes on this burden, and who wants to be one? And while this movie does shine in so many ways, it isn't perfect. There are a couple of plot points that could have been cut or were not used to their full potential. For example, M and his grandmother are put into a situation where she has to decide whether or not to believe him. But unmistakable evidence is given to her in the next scene that exonerates him. I would have enjoyed following her thought process and seeing her navigate that situation instead. This is such a minor criticism, but it is there. How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies is a beautifully simple film. It deals with the ideas of loss and life and death and betrayal and entitlement in such a mature and thorough manner. I think it is easy to watch this and vilify certain people as being selfish or manipulative, but the movie frames each character with grace and understanding. People have their own lives to live. We can't force others to mourn or remember or treat us in specific ways, but you can love them. And maybe, just maybe, that is enough. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.